You may call me Title. It's my birthday this month and what? How old am I turning? I'm not telling you that. A lady never tells. Which is actually very telling of our society's toxic beauty standards and blatant ageism, but for me this stems from more of a sense of stranger danger and the internet is a scary place. And, I'm also fairly shy, so... Tangent aside, it's my birthday this month and I thought I'd talk about the greatest gifts I've ever been given. In the form of media, that is... A little backstory before we begin, though. To be incredibly clear, I'm creating these videos as a way for you all to get to know me outside of my Doctor Who ramblings. And I also want to get to know you, if that makes sense and you're okay with that. Because I find that asking people their favorite media is a great insight into what kind of person they are. And it also offers a safe refuge of topic to bond over during that awkward getting to know you phase. So, here's me. And here are my favorite things. And while there is no peer pressure to ever agree with me, please respect me as I have always respected you. These are only opinions after all. And my opinions on music? A lot of it doesn't stick with me. I'm sorry! I can recognize talent and effort and social impact in a musician, but I'm one of those weirdos who find it difficult to appreciate a song without knowing the entire story of the album and knowing the story of a musician to make that album. Be that as it may, what makes the following two artists my favorite musicians is due to their lyricism, and the story of it just absolutely wrecking me as no one has done since. They've made me break down and cry, shiver, sing at the top of my lungs, invest in the musician's personality and backstory, feel seen or loved by proxy, and just do exactly what music is supposed to make a person do. And the two musicians responsible? Aurora and Daughter. And yes, this video is now just an excuse to gush about them because they're brilliant and really underappreciated. For Aurora, I found her music in that lovely meandering way wherein I heard one song and got obsessed, but then forgot about it until the universe suddenly decided I was ready to listen to all her work. And in a single night, for the first time in my life, I devoured every single song by musicians I could find. I felt it all. And I loved it all. And then I had to wait for new albums to come out. Oh, torturous, but worth it. Specifically, what I love about Aurora's music is how every song very much tells a story. It hurts. And it fits into an album full of that feeling, that overall topic or theme. She's done mental health, love, environmentalism, mythos, and she's still going! She's still going! She was a music prodigy, premiering her first song when she was barely a teenager and having written most of her first album when she was just a child. She is similar to Billie Eilish in that way, and in fact majorly inspired Billie Eilish to pursue music due to the direction of her Runaway music video. Oh, and don't get me started on her music videos. Just know, they match so well. And side note, you can really see Aurora's growth as an artist because she actually experiments with different beats and instruments, and has recently started teaming up with other artists. My favorite songs of her changes monthly. They're all such gems and just have something that I can't find in most music. Maybe it's the emotions, maybe it's the lyrics, maybe it's the actually good beats to it. I don't know. But she's incredible and ethereal, and I absolutely respect how dedicated she is to her music. She'll tour places where it's needed most, even though she'd be punished for being queer. She'll talk openly about mental health and how her family is affected by it. She actually follows through on her environmentalist views by not participating in fast fashion and having her sister make her performance costumes. And she champions diversity without feeling invasive. She is such a genuine person and genuine artist. I love her. And if you wish to fall in love with her music as I have, I highly recommend just watching her Hayat concert, because I have never felt so at peace as I have when I watched that. Or, if you only have time for one song, just one, please, 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 try her sleeper hit and where her music career really began, Runaway. Okay, now it's time to gush about Daughter. Or more specifically, Elena Tonner, or she became known after her band Daughter went on break only to come back this year, X-Ray. Her lyricism is fucking poetry. And the way she sings each word with care, showing how carefully she selected the words, and how carefully the band prepared each song to musically hit at the same time, ooh, it just draws you in. It's actually one of the reasons the game Life is Strange Before the Storm is so captivating, because they wrote the soundtrack for it. And again, each song adds up to a beautiful story of an album, taking one on quite the emotional journey. There is like a silent rage, and a depression, and I don't know how to describe it. I just have so much respect for whoever can feel all of these things and turn it into art. And my favorite album, If You Leave, is like a friend when I'm having to feel those things. Because it's not telling me to get over it, but feel it and understand it. and eventually I will come out the other side okay. Please listen to this album, but if you don't have the time, check out Youth, or Smother, or Human, because I guarantee you've heard at least one of these hits on the angsty side of YouTube. Lastly, this artist is one I have trouble loving until I hear their songs. I think it's just due to the societal perception of them being basic level deep or too repetitive or what have you, and it does grate on me slightly when I remember there are some references to religion in their songs. But gods, once I hear their music, I'm in too deep. I'm talking, of course, about Sleeping at Last. Their instrumentals are fantastic. My favorite album, Alice Oceans, is just instrumentals, but the waves of emotion it sends me through? Oh! And yes, that pun was intended. Sorry, not sorry. And then the album Alice Space 1 and Alice Space 2 has such a beautiful meaning behind it. It's like they build up to this one moment in a song where they just have two lines of lyrics that absolutely gut punch you in the best and worst of ways. And the creativity and ingenuity that drive them to do things like take inspiration from the Enneagram test and use those personality types to format their songs and hire only musicians of that type to play in the song? It's inspiring. If you have the time, I recommend listening to Arctic for the instrumental, or maybe just finding out your Enneagram to see if the emotions hit. Because I bet you they will. Before I wrap this video up, I do have some honorable mentions. These didn't make the list because I couldn't rank or quantify what they mean to me, but they have nonetheless made me. So, a special round of applause to the indie artists Ali Hills, Dodie, Tessa Violet, and Girl in Red. Wow, I'm queer. Anyways, all of these artists have very relatable music, with Ali Hills having some cheeky ones in the similar vein of Lucy Spraggins Last Night, and some being a slamming emotional roller coaster, with Dodie having carefully selected lyrics alongside so much music theory fuckery, with Tessa Violet slyly unwrapping what women aren't supposed to talk about, all the while making such colorful music videos to match, and Girl in Red proving she is the gayest of us all, and definitely the most honest about it. Also, shout out to my formative years of Regina Spektor, Coldplay, All American Rejects, Glitch Mob, and Florence and the Machine. My parents had excellent CDs for road trips. Anyways, guess that's me done. Do you love the bands I mentioned, or maybe have a few to mention to me? Drop a comment below and let me know. Your top 3. Let's go. You got this. I believe in you. And also, thank you for being on the kind of one-way conversation that we've had thus far with just listening to me gush. I'm not the nerdiest nerd about music, but we all have very specific taste in music, don't we? And that's why we have so much of it, and so much more to discover. So, please, help me discover more things. I'm trying to broaden my mind. And I hope I broadened yours slightly. Or at the very least, just reinstate that you are a fantastic person with great taste. Oh, that's so cocky of me to say! Anyways, thank you. I had a really good ending to this video and had to fuck it up, didn't I? I was gonna be inspirational, but no, comedy wins again. Alright. Thank you. Bye.